From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
You know the saying, when it rains, it pours. And if you're at a lacrosse game this weekend, you certainly know what I mean. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Joshua Dolgoff.
And I'm Barbara Joy Tillman. Thanks for joining us. Coming off a loss to Notre Dame, the women's lacrosse Heels returned to Chapel Hill for a rainstorm game against Pitt on Friday. After an hour delay and having to switch fields from Dorrance Field to Finley North, the Heels stormed past the Panthers. 7 different UNC players scored this game, including Riley Casey's early 3 strikes in the first quarter. Casey scored 4 total in the game. Then a goal from Nicole Humphrey put them up 5, with swift passes meeting her in the middle off the feed from behind the net. The Heels took this one with a commanding 16-3 win.
10th-ranked UNC men's lacrosse met with the 3rd-ranked Virginia Cavaliers on Friday night for a rainy duel. After a 13-day break, the Heels were both rested and rusty. Carolina scored on a man-up goal early in the first, but Virginia retaliated and put up 6 goals in less than 6 minutes. The second quarter followed suit. UNC knocked 3 into the back of the net to combat Virginia's 5. Coming out of halftime trailing 11-4, the Heels sought to make a Cavalier win difficult, but the score was 17-8 by the end of the third. Lance Tillman earned his 4th hat trick of the season in the fourth quarter, but despite Carolina's attempts, Virginia's ground ball focus led the Hoos to a 5th straight win against the Heels, winning 19-12. During the weekend, UNC star center Armando Bacot tweeted, "Stay tuned," leaving us all on a cliffhanger. While we're still waiting to hear the news, we thought now would be a great time to look ahead at the freshman joining Armando for next season. For that, let's go over to men's basketball analyst Jay Bensett. Jay, who's coming in?
Josh, we have a talented duo of freshmen coming in the fall to help Carolina get back on the right track again. Simeon Wiltshire, a guard from Roselle Catholic in New Jersey, and Zayden High, a forward from Arizona, will join the hopeful wave of transfers coming in to help Armando Bacot and RJ Davis get the Heels back to the Final Four. Let's take a look at what makes each recruit special. So Wiltshire is a guard from Roselle Catholic, like you already mentioned. He's really good at getting to the basket. So you'll see on ball, he deflects the shot, teammate gets the rebound, outlets to Simeon. Instead of attacking the basket like the scouting report, he's going to pull up for this jump shot, and he can knock it down. That's big because you'll see on this upcoming play, he loves to get to the basket, finish through contact. Shot blocker comes over, kind of punches it into the basket a little bit off the glass, through the contact, and one for Simeon. And then finally, his most creative play of this game against 6th-ranked Paul VI in the country. These are no scrubs. Simeon's got this high ball screen and really goes to work individually. Behind the back, crossover, comes back again, spins the middle of the paint, fadeaway jump shot, gets it to go. He can score from all areas of the floor. And then for Zayden High, he's a 6'9" forward, something we have not seen this since Brady Manick left a year ago. Zayden High is going to set this pick-and-pop screen at the top and have a high enough release point to get this through ball to go for Arizona Compass against Oak Hill. My favorite play of his from this game, his team's going to steal it, but turn it right back over in the middle of the floor. Zayden High's going to chase this down, get a clean block, knock it in the first row. You'll take another look at it. At the point of contact, clean block all the way at the top, has a high enough elevation, even as a 6'9". He's tall, but he's not 7 foot or 6'10" like Armando. He can still get up and block those shots. Little right jab staff. He's got the footwork to get by bigs and get to the basket. And then my favorite offensive play of his, it's a similar pick and pop like we saw earlier. Ball screens coming on the wing. Guard's going to give it to him. Same spot, shot fake, one dribble pull up from the short corner and knock it down. So he's got a complete offensive game as a big. And he and Wiltshire will be on campus come the summer to work out with the current team, and they'll both be looked upon to replace the scoring that departed to Ann Arbor, Michigan last week in the form of Caleb Love. Joshua?
Well, Jay, I'm very high on these young bucks coming into town, but we got some work to do in the transfer portal. For me, I'm looking to get a guy like Harrison Ingram, 6'7" wing from Stanford, average over 10 a game, former 5-star recruit who actually chose Stanford over UNC. But Jay, I know you have someone else on your mind who's made a little madness happen in March a couple years ago.
That's right. Oral Roberts, Max Asmus, diminutive guy, but he knows how to score. He led the nation in scoring 2 years ago when Oral Roberts pulled the 15-2 upset over Ohio State. This year he was, again, top 5 in the country in scoring. So if we can get Max Asmus and pair him with RJ Davis, that's a whole lot of backcourt production that'll really help Armando in the front court next season if we can get him.
There'll be a whole lot of buckets in that backcourt. Thanks, Jay. From the freshmen coming in to alums who've made it pro, Sunday was an eventful day for UNC basketball. 2017 national champion Theo Pinson put himself in the history books in the Dallas Mavericks season finale, putting up a jaw-dropping 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists. Pinson became just the fourth player in NBA history to record that stat line with 0 turnovers, and he became the first Maverick not named Luka Doncic with a triple-double since 1999.
And after a disappointing performance on Tuesday against the Gamecocks, the Diamond Heels struck back against the Yellow Jackets on Thursday. Vance Honeycutt came up huge with an RBI single that brought Mac Horvath home for the Heels' first run of the game. And a bit later, with runners on first and second, catcher Tomas Frick blasted one out of the ballpark all the way to the football practice facility. Frick would stretch the lead to 4-1. Lefty Colby Wilkerson hit one close to the foul line, but it stayed in play, which brought home Alberto Osuna to make the lead 5-1. The Heels' at-bats weren't the only impressive highlight of the game. To put the game completely out of reach, the Heels' defense came up big. Vance Honeycutt tracks the ball and climbs the wall to take away a Georgia Tech home run. Heels win 8-1. In the first game of a Friday doubleheader, Hunter Stokely and Alberto Osuna got the bats rolling, both hitting RBIs in the second inning. Stokely then hit a 2-run single in the third inning to bring in Jackson Vanderbrake and Vance Honeycutt. Vanderbrake had a 2-run single to score Colby Wilkerson and Casey Cook in the fourth inning. Osuna hit a 2-run homer in the seventh inning to improve the Heels' lead. The Diamond Heels got the 10-6 win. And in the second game of the doubleheader, the Heels came out hot, up 2-0 in the second thanks to this Mac Horvath double. And from there, the Yellow Jackets unleashed their bats, scoring 5 unanswered until this Vanderbrake hit scored Mac Horvath in the fifth. A big fifth inning tallied 2 more for Georgia Tech, and unfortunately, it was too little, too late. This Tomas Frick sac fly RBI came up short of a Heels victory. The Heels fell 8-4, but won the series 2-1. The Diamond Heels will be back in action with a midweek game against Queens on Tuesday. Let's turn to baseball analyst Landon Elliott to see how the Heels can see some sort of a winning streak as they look ahead to the rest of the season. Landon?
Thanks, BJ. It was a week full of ups and downs for the Diamond Heels. Against South Carolina, they couldn't get anything going at the plate. The lineup hit more air than it did the actual ball. But on Thursday, that changed, and in a big way. Why? Because UNC's hitters started using the barrel of the bat. Here's a play where UNC does just that. So Thomas Frick is at bat. It's the top of the fourth inning. This is a crucial point in the game because the Heels need to capitalize on their scoring opportunities to boost their confidence. At this point, the Heels are tied 1-1 and have runners on second and third. So notice when Thomas Frick hits this ball, it's going to hit exactly in that sweet spot of the bat. That's called the barrel, and it's going to go all the way to the fences. So you're going to see in slow motion right here how Frick hits the end of the bat, and he does a good job of adjusting to this pitch, and it's gone. So they did a really good job in that doubleheader of adjusting to pitches and getting a good swing on the ball. On this next at bat, the Heels are going to be against South Carolina, and we're going to see Johnny Castanasi at the plate, and he's going to swing a little RBI or just a single off to the first plate right here. And it's a good play. He does a good job of making solid contact with the ball. But the only problem is he hits the end cap of the bat, and he doesn't get the full barrel of the bat. So they did a good job against Georgia Tech, adjusting those pitches, hitting the barrel of the bat, and the Heels continue to keep this momentum in their doubleheader against the Yellow Jackets. Although the team lost in their final matchup, they still put points on the board. Georgia Tech just couldn't find the technical pitches to keep the Heels away from the scoreboard. I'm going to hit the barrel and send it back to you, BJ.
Now, Landon, do you mind demonstrating how to hit the barrel of the bat?
So I'm going to get in my stance, and depending on the pitch, I'm going to swing right in the bat in the sweet spot.
I see future MLB prospect and Sports Extra analyst. Thanks, Landon.
After spending the past 2 weekends on the road, the UNC softball team was back at Anderson Softball Stadium to battle ACC opponent Pittsburgh in a doubleheader. Following 2 straight days of adverse weather, Carolina finally took the field on Sunday morning and wasted no time getting on the board with its RBI single from Isabella Emmerling in the second inning, putting the Heels ahead 1-0. Panthers tied the game the next half inning, but Carolina exploded for 6 runs in the bottom of the third, capped by this Emmerling 3-run home run to center field, tying her career high with 4 RBIs on the day. A pair of Pitt home runs in back-to-back innings cut the lead to 3, but the Heels added 3 more runs in the 6th to extend the lead, and the Heels took Game 1 10-6. In Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader, UNC again found its first run in the second inning. taking the lead off this grounder by Skylar Brooks. This lead was doubled in the third with this infield single by Abby Settlemeyer. The Tar Heels added an insurance run, which was enough for sophomore Lily Backus. She struck out 6 Panther batters, and this ground out secured her third complete game shutout of the season. Tar Heels win 3-0, sweeping the doubleheader. The Tar Heels will return to Anderson Softball Stadium next weekend to face Syracuse. While the UNC softball team is still deep in ACC play, seniors at the club level are winding down their athletic careers. Tally Hagler has the story.
UNC club softball seniors Violet Kehoe and Brie Lucero finished out their softball careers recently, winning a series against the #1 club softball team in the country, Virginia Tech.
It's awesome that we were able to come out and play our best and had some really amazing offense going on.
We continued on our hot streak, and we stole a couple wins from them, so it was really awesome to end it in that fashion.
Despite their talent and the team's success, neither player thought they'd find themselves on the club softball team.
I was so burnt out from high school and playing travel ball, so I kind of wanted to turn a new leaf and just focus on academics. But my freshman year, I kind of found myself at a loss to the community that softball always provided me.
My senior year, I was just like, I want to play softball. I want to get back into it.
Both seniors found themselves engulfed in a community that was much bigger than softball.
I kind of poured myself into it, and then the next year I was treasurer, and then my last year this year I got to be president, so it's been awesome. We really truly are just friends aside from softball.
There's just a lot of good young energy. The first and second years just bring really good vibes.
Although these seniors are saying goodbye to softball, they're still swinging for the fences. Bree will be applying to dental school, and Violet will be applying to nursing and midwifery school within the next year. I'm Tally Hagler reporting.
I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of home runs these girls hit, even off the field.
Kicking off an exciting weekend at Cone Kenfield Tennis Center, the women's tennis team hosted NC State on Thursday afternoon. The Tar Heels earned a hard-fought doubles point to start the day, with the team of Reese Brantmeyer and Elizabeth Scotty securing a perfect 6-0 win with this smart forehand to end the set. Shortly after singles began, the match was suspended due to lightning in the area. After the players returned to the courts, wins from Annika Yarlagada and Carson Tangeleg helped set the Heels up for the match win, with Abby Forbes securing the victory 6-4 and 6-3. With 2 lightning delays during play, the matches ended in the indoor facility, where Fiona Crawley came from behind with this backhand to narrowly defeat 13th-ranked Alana Smith. The Heels sweep the Wolfpack 7-0. The Wake Forest was the opponent on Saturday. In doubles, Abby Forbes and Riley Tran clinched the point with a 6-2 comfortable win. And in singles, Tran, Elizabeth Scotty, and Fiona Crawley cleaned up. Including this rally, watch Crawley expertly move her opponent side to side, setting her up for the kill, before hitting this unreturnable forehand for the point. The Heels took this one with ease, 4-0.
On Saturday, after the women's match, the men face off against the Duke Blue Devils. Duke came out firing in doubles with Benjamin Kate and Logan Zapp losing big 6-1. Then Will Jansen and Carl Poling barely fell 7-5, battling their opponents and fighting tough shots like this ricocheting off the net. In singles, the Heels started to fight back, extending multiple matches with shots like this volley from Benjamin Kate, but the Heels ultimately fell short 5-2. The men take the court Friday night against Florida State. Did you know that UNC is the home to only one competitive cheerleading program? Our own Lee Jeffries has the scoop.
The UNC all-girl cheer team is the only competitive cheerleading team on campus. There are currently 28 members on the team, and they practice together 3 times a week with team bonding in between.
Just really brings the whole experience together and just really gives me a home away from home.
The team hosts only one big showcase a year, so their main goal is to represent the University of North Carolina at the NCAA Collegiate National Championships in Daytona Beach, Florida.
It's a national competition, so there's teams from all over the country that travel to Daytona Beach, Florida, and all sorts of divisions to compete. It's really fun. It's really nerve-wracking just because it's the biggest cheerleading stage in America, but it's really fun and it's a great experience.
It's everyone's dream to be able to run into the ocean with your uniform, carrying your trophy and your banner, and say that you won Daytona.
As a student-led and student-run club, the all-girls cheer team doesn't receive any support from the university.
So it's not like you get a scholarship or you're here because of something. It's here because you love the sport. And I feel like it really comes through at practices and outdoor competitions.
Overall, the UNC All-Girls Cheer Team is a combination of a lot of trust, a lot of effort, and a lot of work. I'm Lee Jeffries reporting.
Before we sign off, we wanted to share our 2 choices for the Sports Extra Play of the Week. Leading off, we have outfielder Vance Honeycutt going up and bringing back a would-be 2-run home run for Georgia Tech, helping to secure an 8-1 victory for the Heels.
And then next we have the one and only and still #1 Fiona Crawley completing an epic 3-set comeback against number 13 ranked Alana Smith of NC State. Crawley lost the first set but was able to win the match with a 3rd set tiebreak to stay on the top of her throne. To vote for your favorite play, comment on our Facebook, YouTube, or go to our Instagram story.
That does it for this edition of Sports Extra. Tune in on Friday for a preview of another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics and the winning Play of the Week vote.